Hello guys, today we will have the poem Elegy written in a country churchyard. We'll have the stranger voice explanation. This poem is written by Thomas Gray. In my previous video I have already discussed about Thomas Gray, so let's have the stanza one. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The lowing hard wind slowly overlay. The ploughman homeward plods in weary way and leaves the world to darkness and to me. The curfew. Curfew is a bell that rings at the end of the day. Tolls means rings. Knell of parting day means evening time. Parting day is actually dying. So the curfew tolls the knell of parting day, which indicates that it is evening time. Writer walks near a churchyard, and he heard that bell sound, which clearly indicates that it is evening time. The lowing herd wind slowly over Lee. Lowing herd means group of cows. Lee means grass field. A group of or a herd of cattle moving across that grass field. The ploughman homeward plods in weary way. Plods means walks. Weary way means tired path. Here, weary way is a transferred epithet. The ploughman homeward plods in weary way. That means tired farmer, tired laborer. They were returning home. They moved across the tired farm labor returning home or walks towards home and leaves the world to darkness and to me. And they left writer, speaker alone in that darkness. The term nail is used here to remind us of human mortality. Next stanza 2. Now fades the glimmering landscape on the sight, and all the air of solemn stillness holds, save where the beetle wheels his droning flight, and drowsy tickling lull the distant falls. Now fades the glimmering landscape on the sight means speaker says the glimmering landscape means the brightness of the land of the earth fades away from his sight, and all the air a solemn stillness holds. All the air, that means air is silent, air is calm. Save where the beetle feels his droning flight. Except, save means only or except. The beetle sound of beetle, the buzz of the beetle. Everywhere there was a stillness. Air was calm except that sound of the buzz sound of the beetle, flying beetle. And drowsy tinkling lull the distant falls. Tinkling lull means ringing sound. Lull means sent to sleep. Beetle and the ringing of the bell. The sound is peaceful and sleepy. That bell sound, ringing of the bell sound was silent, peaceful, sleepy. In the second stanza, writer says it was evening time and the brightness of the earth was going away from his sight. The air was calm. There was a calmness, stillness everywhere. Only the buzz sound of a flying beetle was coming, and the tickling sound, that means the bell sound, which was peaceful. That two sounds were coming. Stanza 3. Save that from yonder ivy mantled tower, the moping owl does to the moon complain of such as wandering near her secret bower, molest her ancient solitary reign. Save that from yonder ivy mantled tower. Mantle is a kind of cloak or coat. Ivy mantled tower means tower is dressed up in ivy. Bower is a lady's private room. Save that from yonder. Yonder means distance. Ivy mantle tower means evergreen. He was dressed. The tower was dressed. He is saying here the environment is very calm and quiet except the sound of the owl who is complaining to the moon. Who is complaining to the moon? About what it is complaining? It is complaining about those who disrupt the solitude of her domain. It indicates its grief. Stanza 4. Beneath those rugged elms, the wee trees said, where heaps the turf in many a mouldering heap, each in his narrow cell forever laid, the rude forefathers of Hamlet sleep. Hamlet is a small town. Rude is used here to describe someone who is from the country or village, who was not sophisticated, modeling, decaying. He says, these grapes are under elms, yew trees. Beneath those rugged elms, that yew tree said. That means these grapes are under elms, yew tree, and there are piles turf on each one, where heaps of turf in many a mouldering. Heaps means there are piles turf on each one, each in his narrow cell forever laid, and each body is dead body lying in their narrow cells, means in their graves. They are not sleeping at their home, at their home, but they are in their graves, and they are laid in their graves forever. The rude forefathers of the Hamlet sleep. Hamlet, I told you, it's the name of a tiny village. They were our forefathers, rude forefathers. We are sleeping. Rude is described this poor person, those who belongs to a country or a village, not sophisticated. These poor forefathers of the Hamlet were sleeping. They are sleeping here in their graves. They are not at their home. They are in this graveyard. They are in their grave. Stanza 5. The breezy call of incense breathing on, the swallow twittering from the straw-built shade, the cock's shrill clarion or the echoing horn, no more shall arouse them from their lowly bed. The breezy call of incense breathing morning. Here speaker says, our forefathers are sleeping, not at their home, where they are sleeping forever, in their graves. They are dead, and nothing can wake up them. The breezy call of incense breathing means the sweet smell. Incense breathing, that means sweet smells of morning breeze. Breeze call of incense morning means the sweet smells of morning breeze, which used to wake up them, but now it can't wake up them. The swallow twittering from the straw-built shed, the twittering sound, the sweet twittering sound of the birds used to wake up them, but now that sound also can't wake up them. Birds twittering sound in their straw nest can't wake up them. What other can't wake up them? The cock's shrill clarion, the morning cock's clarion sound, that is a type of alarm for them. For them. They used to get up, they used to wake up on listening that clarion sound. But now that clarion sound, that cock's clarion alarm also can't wake up them, or the echoing horn. They used to wake up by listening all these things. The sweet smell of morning breeze, the swallow twittering sound of the birds, the clarion sound of cock, and the echoes of horn blown by a hunter or a shepherd. None of these things can wake up these dead guys. None of these things can wake up these dead guys, because they are dead. They are not alive. They are dead, not just sleeping. They are not just sleeping at their home. So these things cannot wake up them from their grave, because they are dead and they are in their graves. They are not at their bed. Stanza 6. For them no more the blazing hearth shall burn, or busy housewife fly her evening care. No children run to lips their shares return, or climb his knees the envied keys to share. Ply means to try to give service. Lips means incorrect pronunciation of the kids. Sire, male parent. Okay, here he says, for them no more blazing hearths shall burn. Before, when they were alive, in the morning, their housewives used to burn the hearth. But now he says, they are dead. For them, no one is burning the hearth fire anymore. Or busy housewife ply her evening care. When they returns from work in the evening time, their housewives used to take care of them. But now no housewife is trying to take care of him after he return from their work. After they return from their work, no children run to lift their shares retain. Again, writer says, when they return from their work, their children are yelling. Their children were yelling. When they returns home, children used to climb their knees. But now no children will yell. No children will yell. No children will climb their knees when he gets back from work. Because it should be to share the envied kiss. These are the day-to-day pleasure which they won't get them now. Writer wants to say these are the day-to-day pleasure which they won't get them now. The burning of hearth, housewives take care, and their children's yelling, their children's climbing on their knees. These things they won't get. These are pleasure they were getting, but now they want to get it anymore. Stanza 7. Often did the harvest to their sickle yield, their furrow often stubborn glaive has broke. How jocund did they drive their team afield, how bowed the woods beneath their sturdy stroke. Sickle, a curved metal. Yield, to produce crops. Furrow, a plow. Draw a line for planting seeds. Glaive, land. Jocund, cheerful. Again, speaker says, the dead also no longer be able to enjoy the pleasure of work, often did the harvest to their sickle yield. They used to harvest to their sickle yield. With the help of their sickle yield, they used to harvest. Now they won't be able to enjoy that pleasure of work. He imagines the kind of works these dead guys used to do when they were alive. He says, often harvested their crops. They often harvested their crops with their sickle. Their furrow, often the stubborn cleavage broke. They used to make furrow. They used to draw lines. They used to draw a shallow hole that the drops seeds into. The heartland. They make furrow. They draw lines into the heartland using a plow. These works they were doing, they were getting pleasure. No longer these works will get them pleasure because they are dead. They can't do all these works from which they were getting pleasure. They were cheerful as they drove their teams of oxen into the field to plow. The woods bore to the stake of their axes as they cleared forest to make their farms. Stanza 8. Let not ambition mock their useful toil, their homely joys and destiny obscure, not grandeur here with a disdainful smile, the short and simple annals of the poor. Toil means their labor. Destiny obscure refers to common people's fate. Annals, their history or stories. Here writer says, let not ambition mock their useful toil. He says, we should not mock the hard work. Toil means hard work of their homely pleasure of these common people. We should not mock at their fate, their homely pleasure and their destiny obscure means of their fate. We should not make. Don't allow, writer says, don't allow ambition. Don't allow the ambition to mock their hard work, to mock at their homely joys, to mock at their destiny, their fate of these common people. He says not to allow ambition to mock at their work, joy and fate. Again he says, nor grandeur here with a disdainful smile. Don't allow rich people's grandeur means high social status. He says, high status of rich people should not smile scornfully at their day-to-day accounts of these poor people. As rich persons should not mock at their day-to-day life. The short and simple annals of the poor. They are not rich. Writer says they are not rich. They have ill fate. Their fate is not great. So, don't allow our ambition. Don't allow rich people to mock at their joy, to mock at their day-to-day work, because they are proud of their hard work, even though they don't have much money. So, writers says, don't allow your ambition. Don't allow rich person to mock at their hard work, to mock at their homely joys, to mock at their ill-fated destiny. Stanza 9. The boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and all that beauty, all that wealth ever gave, awaits like the inevitable hour. The paths of glory lead but to the grave. Here in this stanza, writer says why we should not mock at them, why ambition, why grandeur should not mock at this poor person's toil, poor person's destiny, poor person's homely joys. Because the boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and the beauty that we are given, obtained from wealth, all those things will die one day, will meet its death. They are not permanent, they are unavoidable things which will get their death one day. The writer says the pride ceremony, meaningless ceremony, all the beauties obtained from wealth, for which ambitious people feel proud and mock the poor, are waiting for unavoidable hour. Are waiting for inevitable hour means unavoidable hour. That means no matter how rich, beautiful, and wealthy we are, one day we will go to that, or one day all these things must die. So we should not mock the poor person's life, we should not mock their destiny. Stanza: you, ye proud, impure to this the fault, if memory over their tomb no trophies raise, where through the long drawn aisle and freighted vault, the pealing anthem swells the note of praise. Here writer says, the proud rich, ye proud means the proud rich, not to blame this dead poor's tomb, because these tombs, this poor dead guy's tomb, don't have fancy monument over their grave. Where these fancy monuments tombs are seen, these fancy monuments are seen in the church of the rich people. Poor people don't have decorated tombs over their grave, over their dead bodies. So writer says not to mock, not to blame these dead poors if they don't have decorated a fancy monument over their tomb. Way through the long drawn aisle and freighted vault, the pealing anthem swells the note of praise. Means these rich tombs are having bells. These rich tombs are having bells. That marks the passing of the church in praise of his or her life. Speaker says rich people's tombs are decorated. He says these proud rich should not blame the poor dead graves, as they don't have fancy marble monument over their tomb. Here we have completed 10 stanzas. Next remaining stanza we will discuss. We will have that explanation in our next video. Till then, bye bye.